الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, we'll continue our class and going over the book الأجوبة الوداعية على الأسئلة النسائية. We'll continue in the book, going over the book, the answers of Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i rahimahullah on questions from the women. تقول السائلة: هل يجوز للمرأة الحائض والنفساء أن تمس القرآن وأن تقرأ فيه، خاصة في شهر رمضان المبارك الذي يخصه الناس لختم القرآن؟ وهل يجوز حضور مجالس العلم والدروس في المساجد؟ أو هل يجوز حضور مجالس العلم والدروس في المساجد؟ قال الشيخ رحمه الله: الإجابة: لا أعلم مانعا. هذا وحديث لا يمس القرآن إلا طاهر منهم من يقول إنه مرسل، وعلى الفرض بأنه بمجموع طرقه صالح للحجية فيكون محمولا على ما قاله الشوكاني في نيل الأوطار يقول لا يمس القرآن إلا طاهر أي مسلم. So the question is regarding if a woman who is on her menses, and also the woman in her bleeding after giving birth, if it is permissible for her to touch the Quran, also to recite the Quran. The sister who asked, she also said, especially in the month of Ramadan, because people try to recite the entire Quran, to do a complete khutmah of the Quran in the month of Ramadan. Also to sit in the gatherings of knowledge and to sit in the masajid to attend classes. So the Shaykh rahmahullah said, I don't know anything that prevents that. As for the hadith, لا يمس القرآن إلا طاهر, no one should touch the Quran except one who is upon purity. He said some of them, they said that it is mursal, that the hadith is mursal, meaning that it is narrated from a tabi'i, from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, without mentioning who did he hear it from. Did he take it from a sahabi or a tabi'i, another tabi'i? So this is the mursal. قال وعلى الفرض بأنه بمجموع طرقه صالح للحجية فيكون محمولا على ما قاله الشوكاني في نيل الأوطار. He said even in regards to those who say that it is strong because of the different narrations of the hadith, even for those who said that the hadith is strong, then it should be understood based upon what Shawkani rahimahullah mentioned in his book Nail al-Awtar. يقول لا يمس القرآن إلا طاهر أي مسلم. No one touches the Quran except for one who is pure, meaning a Muslim. فلا يمسه الكافر. So the disbeliever is not allowed to touch it. لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى أن يسافر بالقرآن إلى أرض العدو, because the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he forbade from traveling with the Quran to the land of the enemies. هذا أمر. قال بقي قوله تعالى لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. There's also the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that means no one touches it except those who are purified. فالمراد أنه لا يمسه إلا المطهرون أي الملائكة. What is meant is that no one touches it except the ones who are purified, meaning the angels. كما قال الإمام مالك في موطئه, such as which is the statement of Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he said is the correct opinion in his book Al-Muwatta. وقال هذه الآية تفسرها قوله تعالى كلا إنها تذكرة فمن شاء ذكر في صحف مكرمة مرفوعة مطهرة بأيدي سفرة كرام بررة, referring to the preserved tablet or the Quran in the tablet that is only touched by those who are purified, meaning the angels أي الملائكة. فمعناه أنه لا يمسه إلا الملائكة, meaning that no one touches it except for the angels. كما قال ربنا جل وعلا وما تنزلت به الشياطين وما ينبغي لهم وما يستطيعون إنهم عن السمع لمعزولون. قال كذا أيضا يجوز لها الحضور إلى مجالس العلم. So he was asked, or he said likewise, she is allowed to attend the gatherings of knowledge والدروس وحضور الدروس في المساجد, and she's allowed to attend the classes in the masajid. ولا بد إن شاء الله ولا بأس إن شاء الله. There's no harm if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. وحديث لا أحل المسجد لحائض ولا جنب. As for the hadith that I do not make the masjid permissible for a woman who is on her menses or one who is in the major state of impurity, sexual impurity. قال هو حديث ضعيف. He said this is a weak hadith. وأيضا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لعائشة رضي الله عنها إن حيضتك ليست في يدك. The Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said to Aisha رضي الله عنها, your hayd, your menses is not in your hand. ويقول لها افعلي ما يفعل الحاج غير ألا تطوفي بالبيت. He said to her, also do everything that one who is performing Hajj does, except that you should not go around the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, around the Kaaba. فلا بأس إن شاء الله أن تحضر دروس العلم في المسجد. So there's no harm if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills for her to attend the classes of knowledge and the gatherings of knowledge in the masjid. Wallah al-musta'an. And we seek the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طبعا جواب الشيخ رحمه الله واضح. Of course the response of Shaykh رحمه الله is clear. ولكن جمهور أهل العلم يقولون أنه لا يجوز للجنب ولا الحائض أن تمس المصحف. The majority of the people of knowledge, they say that one who is in the major state of impurity or sexual impurity is not allowed to touch the mushaf. And likewise, a woman who is on her menses, that she's not allowed to touch the mushaf. فالأحوط أن تبتعد عن ذلك. The safer way is to stay away from that. ولا بأس بمس المصحف بحائل. And there's no harm if she touches the mushaf with a barrier. كأن تلبس قفازين مثلا, such as that she wears gloves, for example. أو أن تقرأ من الأجهزة المحمولة, or to recite the Quran, or to, if she wants to recite the Quran, to recite from the electronic devices, from her phone or a tablet or the likes, or the computer or anything like that. There's no harm بإذن الله تعالى. And also we should point out that reciting the Quran, the stronger opinion in regards to this matter is that reciting the Quran for a woman who is on her menses is allowed. However, reciting the Quran for one who is in the major state of impurity, sexual impurity, the stronger opinion is that it is not allowed. And the difference between them is that the woman who is on her menses, she cannot make her menses go away, whereas one who is in the major state of impurity can perform ghusl, take a shower, take a bath, take a legislated bath, and remove that state of impurity. So there's a difference between the two. Also, in regards to sitting in the masjid, same thing applies. The stronger opinion is that a woman who is on her menses is allowed to stay in the masjid. This is a stronger opinion. However, the other opinion, meaning that she's not allowed to, is also strong. There is an evidence for it, which is the fact that the Messenger ﷺ did not permit the women, or commanded the women who attend Salat al-Eid to stay away from the musalla, from the place of prayer. Is it because it is impermissible for them to come to the musalla, meaning altogether that they're not allowed to? Some of the people of knowledge, they said this is an evidence that they're not allowed to come to the musalla, to the place of prayer, even the prayer of Eid. Although it is not a masjid, but it is a place that is reserved for the prayer of Eid. Others, from the other group of people of knowledge, they said, no, this is not a masjid, and it doesn't take the rules of the masajid. So, for example, you don't pray tahiyyat al-masjid. You don't pray the greeting of the masjid when you enter into the musalla al-Eid, into the place of Eid prayer. Of course, this here we're talking about when Eid prayer is held not in a masjid, but somewhere outside. Such as and they do in many places. They go to a park, or they go to a desert, or anything like that. A field that is prepared specifically for the Eid prayer. So this is not a masjid, and it doesn't take the rulings of the masajid. And therefore, some of the people of knowledge, they say she's not allowed to come to the musalla during the Eid prayer because of the possibility of some of her menses blood spilling on the place, and therefore making it impure and causing a harm for the women. So she should come to Salat al-Eid, but she should not come to the actual place where they pray. So she would stay on the side, or in the back of the place, where she is not in the actual place where they pray. Now, In addition, of course, as is known, Salatul Eid, the Eid prayer is held before the khutbah. So if she comes and she sits in the musalla, in the actual place where the women are praying, and the rest of the women are praying, she's going to cause a gap in the rows. Now, على كل حال, in any ways, the stronger opinion regarding this matter is that a woman who is on her menses, the safer opinion is that she should not come to the masjid. And the stronger opinion is that she's allowed to, especially for a reason, such as attending a class or teaching a class or the like thereof of these things. If there is a reason for her to be in the masjid, then if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, there's no harm. She's allowed to. As for one who is in the major state of impurity, then the correct opinion is that he or she, male or female, they are not allowed to sit in the masjid. They're allowed to pass through in the masjid, to walk through the masjid if they needed to. Or for example, one was sleeping in the masjid and woke up having had a wet dream and therefore being in the major state of impurity. In that case, he is allowed to walk through the masjid if there is a need, but one is not allowed. In this case, he or she is not allowed to sit in the masjid and remain in the masjid. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا جُنُبًا إِلَّا عَابِرِي سَبِيلٍ حَتَّى تَغْتَسِلُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited that one sits in the masjid when in the major state of impurity, unless one is passing by, until one takes a bath, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded. Now, فهذا هو الراجح في هذه المسألة والله أعلم. إن شاء الله نكتفي بهذا المقدار. We will continue in the next class if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.